All right, everyone. Here we go. Again, just a quick review of our final 1 point perspective drawing. We're going to be drawing hotel room number 1 today. If you're drawing a different room, you're free to, kind of apply the concepts that we're going to talk about in here to a different room. If you'd like to switch rooms, you're kind of uncomfortable with the room that you've chosen, you can do that. Just let me know so I know what's going on. If you are working on a different room drawing, please just keep doing what you're doing. If you want to hit the mute button here for a few minutes, you totally can. But we're going to try to work through hotel room number 1, which I am presenting to you guys right now. So we are going to start with the box in the middle. If you haven't gotten that already, you're pretty far behind, so you're going to want to draw that quickly. You got a rectangle in the middle. You're going to have a vanishing point in the middle, but a little bit off to the right, as you can see. After you have that vanishing point in place, you're going to want to create orthogonal lines going from the vanishing point out through the corners of your rectangle. Notice that these lines are going through the corners and going off to the edge of the paper. That's what it should look like, right? All right, and that's kind of where we're going to start. We're going to draw everything kind of based off of that. All right, everyone. First thing I want to do, which is maybe the easiest part, in my opinion, is to start with these two kind of ceiling details that we have. So we have kind of these two ridges or boxes that are up in the upper left-hand corner and the upper right-hand corner. We're going to start by drawing them. And then we're going to move on to the other things in the room. So first, we're going to start with a rectangle in the upper left-hand corner of your far wall. You can use a ruler for this, or you can freehand it. It's kind of up to you. But you're going to start with this rectangle. Then you're going to connect the corners of the rectangle to the vanishing point and extend them off beyond the page. So you're not worried about the distance between the vanishing point and the corner. You're worried about what comes after that. So it'll look kind of like this. Once you draw your vanishing point, you're going to extend those lines outwards like so. You continue to do that. Right. Once you have that in place, you're going to erase all the lines you do not need. So I'm going to erase the lines that I just now did not draw. So I have an extra line that I created to make my walls. I got this vertical line as well as that one. All right. So what you're left with is kind of this long rectangle looking guy, and again that is kind of this section up here if you're looking at the screen I'm sharing. So that's this box we just did. We'll add in some of these details later, but for now I want to move on and also get this right one. So this one's going to be the exact same way, except the rectangle is going to be a little bit more vertical. Right, so again, you can use a ruler if you want. You don't have to. Right, I'm making a vertical box. Looks like maybe it's a little bit longer than the other one. Okay, I need this extra tail. All right, but now we're going to do the exact same thing. So we're going to connect each of these corners through the vanishing point and extend them to the edge of our paper like this. 1, 2, and 3. If we did it right, our drawing is going to start to look a little bit like the drawing that we have, or the photograph that we have over here on the left. All right, so we kind of got those ceiling elements so far. We've done these two. That kind of draws these angular shapes we have up here at the top. Now let's kind of switch and start to work on stuff at the bottom. So let's go ahead and start drawing these cabinets over here and kind of see how that adds to our drawing. So we're going to create these guys over here. What I notice in this photograph is that this line looks like, I can't do it with my mouse, but it's almost right below kind of this back wall over here. So to help us draw that, we're going to pretend that this wall comes straight down. So I'm going to line up my ruler with that shape that we just drew, that top shape. And we're going to make sure that the top of this cabinetry is actually below the horizon line. So remember, the horizon line goes straight through the vanishing point. We're going to make sure that ours is a little bit lower than that, because I can see that that's the case in our drawing. I'm actually going to move mine down quite a bit. So I'm going to make mine over here. And again, so we're just doing another rectangle, right? The same way we've been doing them. But the top of my rectangle is below this horizon line, and that's the way you want to do it. Then we're connecting points through the vanishing point. Sorry. We're connecting corners through the vanishing point, and we're extending them towards the viewer in the same way we've been doing. Someone is joining us. All right, Esperanza, we're just kind of doing a rerun here, so if you have your own drawing to work on, you can do that. Today is a work day. This is just meant to help people who are a little bit behind. All right, so we got cabinetry over here. Now all we have to do is keep erasing. Erase parts of this back wall. We don't need it anymore. Fudge it a little bit. There we go. Like that. All right. Starting to take shape a little bit. We got some cabinets over here. We're going to worry about this area next. We're going to kind of draw this little area that the TV is sitting on. So it looks like halfway between there's like a window, right, over here, but then halfway between the back wall and the edge of the photograph, it looks like that's where the TV is, kind of creating this cool little section for the TV. So that's what we're going to try to draw right now. So I'm going to say that starts right about here. So it's kind of in the middle of that bottom section that we just drew. This dot is going to come straight down to about the middle of this. And we're going to kind of build in that wall right here. And the first thing we want to do is draw a horizontal line as straight as we can. All right, straight up and down, just like that. See, I was a little off down here. Then we're going to connect the top and bottom to the vanishing point and extend it outwards again. So that's kind of the theme for today, is finding that the corners of the edge of an object and connecting them to the vanishing point, but not drawing from the vanishing point to the shape, but beyond the shape. And I got a little off there just because of the staple in my paper, but we'll go ahead and fix that up. Here we go. Okay, now we can erase these two internal lines to get our oh, I always forget the word. Illusion working correctly. Let's see, once we erase that, now, I don't know about you, but it's starting to take shape, I think. Alright, so now we got that kind of side wall. We can put a little TV in there. Looks like the TV sits just right on this wall. I'm going to make mine a little bit just right here. Kind of sits on, excuse me, almost directly at the horizon line almost. And we're going to do the same thing. Line up the top of that line with the vanishing point and extend it off to the side. We're going to stop just shy of the page and actually, whatever. This is going to be a giant TV and that's okay. Actually, that TV is too big. We're going to stop short. I'm going to draw mine a little bit shorter because there is a shelf there that I want to add. So I'm making this a little bit shorter, changing it up as we go along, but you can do that because of your drawing. Staple's really getting in my way. All right. All right, a little TV, and we can add some detail in there, maybe help us out. Put a border in. I guess it could be a painting if we wanted it to. Again, just putting a little border in there. Trying to show that it's got a body as well as a screen or like a back area. There you go. TV. Cool. All right. Next element, I believe, is going to be this bed. We're going to start with... Actually, might as well just start with the edge of the bed. So we're going to draw just a big rectangle that sits right down here at the bottom of the page. Our rectangle goes... I'm just going to draw it lightly, and then I'm going to draw it with a ruler. So a rectangle is going to take up a lot of this space. It's going to start kind of down there. So I'm going to gently plan it out. It's going to line up with this bottom corner, so that's where the bottom right side of this bed lines up, and then we're going to use the ruler and kind of redraw what I just kind of planned out. So straight at the bottom, we're going to come across. I don't know, this is the wrong way to do this. Try to get my arm out of the way so you can see it. All right, straight across, straight up. Coming back. We can soften up these lines later, but for now they're going to be just a full-on rectangle. And then come straight down. All right, and everyone knows how to do this next step, right? So now we have a square that's facing us. All we have to do is connect the edges back to the vanishing point and decide where it ends. So let's do that now. Connect these corners. Now we are not going off the page, we're going back to the vanishing point. All right, you don't have to connect them all the way. And actually, we don't need this anymore. Corner, vanishing point. Right. And then this bed, depending on how long of a bed you want to have. No. Depending on how long the bed you want to have. Kind of figure out where this is supposed to end. Sorry everyone, I have been talking this whole time and y'all didn't know. So you can hear it on the recording, but I'm just going to continue to go along with this. Making the bed, erasing some orthogonal lines. Here we go. Too late to stop, just got to keep going. All right, now that we have our bed, or at least the general bones of it, we're going to actually add in this giant honker of a headboard. So that's our next step. It's going to be just a big old skinny rectangle. So it's going to start up. And this headboard actually goes above the horizon line, believe it or not. It's a very tall headboard. Okay. So we got our very tall headboard that's going to have a horizontal line up here at the top. Then, again, we're left with our normal kind of everyday drawing the shape in 2-point perspective. Sorry, 1-point perspective. We're going to bring our corners back to the vanishing point, like so. And then our vertical line is actually going to end. It's going to be a little bit different. So we actually have to do the top and the bottom. Sorry. But we can stop our bottom line where it hits the back of the bed, and that's where our line's going to come up vertically. And then this goes away. This gets erased. And we have that giant headboard. And you can add some more details to that. I'm going to leave it alone for now. But yeah, you can see our room is starting to take shape. We don't need these anymore. We do need our vanishing point. Super important. Don't lose that. Yeah, I mean, we can continue with our counter. Maybe we'll try to get there we go. It's a little bit off, but we'll go back and add some details in there if we need to. Yeah, you can go directly into the curtains if you want, or add in kind of the trim at the top of the window. A couple of them over here. Looks like you got a little sideboard over there. Alright, and then curtains, I guess. So you got this metal bar kind of sitting over here. Can kind of blend into the top if you want it to. But then it's just a matter of drawing curtains. You got kind of this white and black curtain scenario. Can give a little bit of texture up at the top. And then just a bunch of vertical lines. Kind of make them different lengths if you want. Try to draw those curtains. Yeah. Barring a few minor details, I think we're pretty much where we want to be. Yep. So there you go. I'm going to stop right there. It's a 20-minute demo. Does anyone have any questions?